everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and as you can see by the title, we have a very exciting video today. We are going to be playing with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault. Now, I've decided to do this video over 3 videos with a tutorial on each palette of the Vault. I'm saying each 3 videos because I'm actually going to be giving one of the palettes away. Stick around to the end to find out how you can win. So the 3 palettes that I've decided to keep are the Dark Magic, Bling Boss and Armed and Gorgeous. Obviously today we have a very purple look, so I have used the Bling Boss palette for this tutorial, which looks a little something like this. Well, it looks exactly like this. I'm choking on myself. I put up a question on my Instagram in the comments and asked, DM me, tell me what palette you want me to use, and overwhelmingly number 2 got the most votes. Number 1 and 3 got heaps of votes, but number 2 was like, do this one first. So if I just quickly show you the Vault, if you haven't seen it, it comes in this white box here. This is going to play havoc with my camera. It's got a picture of Jaclyn Hill in the back, looking very happy. I would be too if I was her. Nice box, and then inside it comes with this like hard cardboard thing that holds all of the palettes inside of it. If I put them in, so it comes like this string just helps you like pull out the palettes, and it would make a really beautiful gift for someone. Like if you bought this now for someone's Christmas present, they would be delighted to get these palettes, I'm sure of it. The whole Vault costs £49, or the palettes also go for £15 each. As far as I'm aware, they are still in stock. I will link them down below, of course. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to swatch the Bling Boss. I'm not going to touch Ring the Alarm. And then we will jump into this eye tutorial and I'll show you exactly how I did that. So I'm going to swatch the shadows just down this side of my arm, the kind of like unhairy side. I don't really have hairy arms, but this side. So the first shade is Bling Bling, and this is let me angle my screen. This is like a really gorgeous pinky champagne metallic. It's absolutely stunning, really pigmented as well. The second shade is Hush Hush. This is a matte shade. It's like a matte kind of bruisey purple. It's like Bon Fresco from the ABH Modern Renaissance. That's 2 swatches of that there. Mattes always need building up more than metallics, but that is a really lush color. Then we have the kind of mega color in here called Gem. 1 swatch of Gem. I have no words on how gorgeous that color is. It's outrageous. Then we have Pizzazz, which is like a warm reddish copper, super pigmented, 1 swipe. Then we've got Mystic, which is the kind of deepest like burnt purple matte in the palette. That is 1 swatch. I think that's quite impressive actually. But let me just give it a second swatch. Then we've got the colour Sparks. That's 1 swipe of Sparks. It's a really red toned colour. I would say it's more red than purple. That's a second swatch of Sparks. Then we've got the shade Glitz and Glam, which is another metallic shade. This is a more kind of bronzy toned metallic, much more bronze than this first one, and it actually looks really similar in the pan to Ballsy, and I was like, have they put 2 of the same shade in? They're super different swatched. Then we've got another matte purple. This is called Rockstar. That's 1 swatch of Rockstar. Let me get a second swatch. That's a gorgeous like aubergine purple. Then we've got the shade Ballsy, which is gorgeous. I tried to use this on my inner corner, but it was just way too dark. But it's a really pink toned, stunning metallic pink. And then the last shade is called Berry Treasure, which is like a matte purple with micro sparkles in it. I'm going to do 2 swatches of this one. And when I show you it up close, I think you'll see the sparkle more, but that is the palette swatched. And I know swatches aren't like, oh, this is how it'll go on the eye, but swatches are stunning. There is it in person, up close. Let me get as close as I can. I don't know if you can see the micro shimmer in that lash shade. This is definitely the palette that called my name the most out of the vault, and I think if at the time I only had the money to buy one palette, this is probably the one I would buy. However, luckily I could buy them all. I just got paid, so yes, I like this a lot. But if you want to see it apply, see how I did this eye, and then hear my very final thoughts, then please just do keep on watching. Okay, so I've zoomed you in closer so you can see better what I'm doing with the eyes. So the first shade I'm going to go in with is the shade Mystic. And I'm going to go in with that on my Morphe M514. I'm going to start popping that in the crease. This colour is really, really pigmented. I can't quite get over the pigmentation in this palette because it's a purple palette. Purples are notoriously hard to make. I know that just by like listening to people that actually make cosmetics, and I think it's just to do with the ingredients in them. But as you can see, that is a nice purple. I'm going to take that and attach it, bring it round to my lower lash line as well, because I find that easier, and then just make sure I've built up that colour in the crease. So you can see it's applying pigmented, and I'm just doing a tiny bit of blending with it on that brush. And it's looking real good. And like I said, there's like barely any fallout with the mattes in this palette, at least. I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm going to just start buffing around the edges of that shade and just get it to start blending a little bit nicer into my skin before I go in with a slightly lighter shade. Then on a smaller brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Rockstar. This is a slightly lighter purple. And I'm going to start blending out the shade, whatever it was, the first one. I need to use a palette a few times to remember all the shade names. Again, this is a really, really beautiful matte purple. Then I'm going to take that brush I used before, the Nima Jenny brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Hush Hush. There is barely any kick up in the pans as well when I dip my brush in, so these are firmly pressed, but not so firm that I'm getting no pigment, as you can see. And this colour is just going to really beautifully blend out that Rockstar shade. And then just because I wanted to use a few different shades, I'm going to pick up the shade Sparks, which is more of a red purple. I just want to show you that if I dip into it and rub, there's really like not a lot of kick up in the pan at all. And I'm going to pop that in my crease where I put that first shade, which was called Mystic. It's bringing more of a reddy purple tone in, rather than just like a cool toned purple. Okay, now for the fun part. So we're gonna take the very beautiful, vibrant purple, and I'm straight out the gate using it wet, so I've just sprayed my brush. And I'm gonna start packing that all over my eyelid. Look at that color. On the other eye, I did a base first with the first dark purple shade I used, and it wouldn't really stick. So I would recommend just putting this straight kind of on clean skin. Okay, sorry, the postman came and I got very distracted. So you could leave this here, throw on a lash. Any eagle-eyed people out there, I did just change the lash that I had on this side. So you could just leave it here, put on your lash, and kind of then would move on to the lower lash line. However, I have a really hot date tonight with my hot husband. And so I'm gonna add a little bit of sparkle like I have done on this side, just because I wanna have a bit of sparkle. For that, I'm just using my Barry M holographic eyeshadow topper in Supernova. So like I said, ignore this step if you just want to see the palette, or add this step if you're wanting that little bit of extra sparkle. So I'm just gonna grab that little brush that I was using and just pat this over that purple lid shade. These holographic eyeshadow toppers are a really good dupe and a much more affordable alternative to the Stila Magnificent Metals, which are like £23 and these are like £4, so that's why I love them so much. And it's just adding a bit more interest to this look. I liked it without this, but with it I feel a lot kind of more date night ready, if you know what I mean. Then I'm taking a tiny bit more of the shade Mystic, just patting that on the outer edge of my eye, just to make that the kind of deepest part of the lid. And that just really helps to give my small hooded eyes more dimension. I'm just patting it on. I don't need it to look perfect, but just add a little bit of depth to that outer corner. Then I'm going in with the shade Berry Treasure, which looks like this. It's a really interesting deep purple with sparkle in it, but I don't know if the sparkle's showing up. Just using it on a liner brush, really close to my lash line, just to help my false lashes look a bit more seamless when I put them on. I'm really not trying to add much, I'm just trying to keep it really close to the lash line. Now we can wipe away all of this powder and all of the fallout, and because we had the powder there shouldn't be any kind of purple left on the skin. Then for the lower lash line, I'm just taking a small pencil brush and the shade Rockstar, and I'm just gonna pop that under the old eye. Bit more of Mystic at the very outer half, just to make it the deepest part. And then wherever my brush is, tiny bit of Hush Hush, just to blend those out. But for my inner corner, I am grabbing another of the palettes. I'm grabbing the Armed and Gorgeous palette because this has the best inner corner highlight shade, and I'm going to use that shade, which is called VIP. This shade is no joke. Legit one of the brightest inner corner highlights. Look at that colour. It's almost actually silvery white. I think that's why it goes, because it is quite cool toned. The lash I'm using is Coco Lashes Style Goddess. These are perhaps my favourite lashes of all time. I'll throw on my mascara and then I will finish off my face and then we'll be back. Okay, I have finished applying the rest of my makeup, and obviously the purple eye is the main focus kind of this whole look. Although my earrings are definitely trying to be in there. Anyway, this is obviously the finished look with the rest of my makeup done. I love it a lot. I think the purple tones in this palette are perfect. Perfect. I think that they are vibrant and purple enough that it's an obvious purple eye, and it doesn't look like I've got a black smoky eye from a distance. Like, it looks like a purple smoky eye, and I love that so much. I obviously enhanced it a little bit with my Barry glitter thing, but even without that, it was obviously purple and beautiful. And someone commented in my last video saying, I love the way you say purple. Do I say it in a funny way? Purple. Purple. In terms of this palette, just looking at it as a palette and what I think of it, this is £15, obviously, on its own. I think well worth it, especially when the other day I was in Superdrug and they had like Maybelline and L'Oreal palettes that were like 15 or 16 pounds, and I was like, that's a lot of money for drugstore palettes. And obviously Morphe is affordable. I think they've got different ranges of kind of affordableness. Like, some of their brushes are pretty expensive, some of them are super cheap. Like, their huge palettes used to be like £15, that was super cheap. Obviously they've raised the price now. But overall, if you like the colour purple, I would highly recommend this palette. It swatches beautifully, it applies on the eye beautifully. The only kind of colour in here that I probably won't really use is the shade Pizzazz, but I don't really like reddy purple toned metallics. Like this kind of colour, I prefer like purples or like pinks. You know what I mean? So that's probably the only colour in here that I won't get much use out of. But as a palette, £15, highly recommend. It blends easy, it's pigmented. There's not a lot of fallout until you kind of really dip into the metallics to kind of pack them on and get the punch. Highly recommend, love this palette so much. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope you find it informative. Obviously I've got another 2 videos to do, I've got another 2 palettes, because I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway over the course of these 3 videos of the, where is it, the Ring the Alarm palette. This is one of the most popular palettes in her series. It's this one here, very warm toned, lots of oranges, lots of reds, lots of really beautiful golds and kind of mustards. However, the amount of palettes I have in this colorway is ridiculous. So I'm going to be giving this away. All you have to do is make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and go and follow my Instagram. My name will be up on the screen. And once I've finished all 3 kind of reviews and tutorials of the other palettes, that is when I will like announce who wins the giveaway. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the look that I did down in the comments, and I hope you'll subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.